Okay guys, let's get this virus TI2 working in Reason. I say TI2, TI as well, I believe. This is probably handy for other pieces of hardware that work similar to the virus as well. Right, my virus TI2 desktop is connected only via the USB, nothing else, okay? I'm going to include all my virus TI2 desktop settings in the description for this video. They'll work obviously with pretty much any virus TI, I would imagine, but I'll put those in the description. Now the first thing we need to do is we've got a free download here on the nerds.de site. Again, I'll pop a link in the description for this, but LoopB1. Okay, download your free copy. Let's download that. Click download it. You don't need me to tell you how to install a bit of software. Double click on it, install it. Okay, once it's installed, it will be running in here, okay, in the bottom right. So, in the bottom right, you'll see it's dark blue. If it has a red ring around it or whatever, that means it's muted itself for some reason. Just unmute it again. Keep it like that, okay. Keep it dark blue. Right, so that's once that's done, the next protocol is Element. Okay, Cushview Element. So I went for the single download. It's only $2. Saves a mess around. I mean, if you're, such a way inclined where you like to, compile your own source code, I think you can download the source code and compile your own copy. That's free to do so, I believe. In my instance, again, yeah, I just downloaded it. $2 is nothing. It's already ready to go. You just install it. Okay, so install it. Right. Once that's installed, let's whiz over to Element. Okay, run Element. Okay, before you run Reason, actually, run Element, and then I have to remember this because I've been working in the VST version, so. This is the standalone version, slightly different. So we got a plugin manager to start with. Okay, just ignore everything what you've seen beforehand on that screen. That's just stuff I was messing around with when I first installed it. Now go to Options, Search Paths. I selected VST there. Okay, not VST3. I'm not using the VST3 version of Virus Control software. I'm using the VST 2.4. Okay, so in here you need to input your path to where your VSTs are. Okay, I'm assuming your virus VST will be in the same place as all the other ones. So just basically put in your folder. Okay, and then I don't even need this one in. Actually, I can remove that, because it doesn't actually work. I tried to get it, that Mystery Island music working in Cushview, but I couldn't get it to work. But anyway, all my VSTs are in that folder. Yours will differ. Add it, click Save. Okay, I'm going to click Save because I don't want that finding the other one. Right, and then we can close out with that. And from here, we can completely close out of Cushview altogether. Okay, so then we wing over to Reason. Yeah. Once we're in Reason, the very first thing we need to do is we go to Preferences in the top Edit menu. Okay. Now ignore this at the top here. Ignore this Novation keyboard thing. This is what we're interested in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like I've added it manually. So you would click Add Manually. Then you would click Manufacturer, Other. Okay, select Other. Don't select anything else, just you want MIDI control keyboard. Then under here you want to select Virus TI MIDI. Okay, and then you would click OK. I'm not, because I've already got one, so I'll cancel it. And then this will pop up. But if you highlight it, okay, highlight it so it's blue. Then down here, okay, you'll see there's only one unticked, and that is LoopB internal MIDI. Untick that. That's important, okay? Once you've got that unticked, we're done with that. All right. So the next port of call is you load up Reason. Well, you're already in Reason, but you load up or drag across your Cush view. Okay, it's under Instruments, your Cush view elements, and then drag elements in. Okay, I'm going to hold Shift and drag element in because I don't want it auto routing itself. Okay, and while we're here, we may as well drag some of that stuff in. So on some utilities, we want 3 mixed channels. Okay, so I'll drag 1 in again, holding Shift. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Control and I'm going to make 3 copies of that. Okay, and drag, just hold Control and drag down, click and drag down, and it creates copies. Next, we're going to do is go to Instruments. We're going to drag down. We're going to go to MIDI out device. Okay, we'll want 3 of those as well. So just drag one in. You don't need to hold Shift or anything. Drag one in. But what I'm going to do is for the first one, I'm going to click here and I'm going to select Loop B internal MIDI, right? MIDI channel 1. And I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to click and drag down to make another one. But I'm going to change that one to channel 2. Again, hold Control, drag down. And I'm going to select channel 3 for the last one. So we should have 3 MIDI outputs, okay? 3 MIDI outs. Each one with Loop B internal selected, and channels 1, 2, and 3. That's that bit done. That's pretty much just ready to start and get the virus working, okay, within Element. So click on here in Element, all right? Now this bit is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside because I'm recording this on a 1080 monitor and I'm normally used to 4K. So we drag this down here. We need to get that audio output. Okay, drag it up. Get it in the workspace, all right? Once that's in the workspace, the first thing we need to get in is we need to right click on the desktop here, on this little bit here, okay? MIDI input device, select Loop B internal MIDI. Let's drag it up here and keep it neat. We'll move that output a little bit higher up as well. Okay, next bit, we need to right click and then down in, for me, it's in Synth. And then in my instance, I'm going to select Virus TI, okay. Once you select that, it'll take a moment for it to load up Virus Control within the element. Alright, just click OK and OK on them two. And now I'll just click on Element again to open it up. And it's hidden. I've hidden it. So the Virus TI node, what we've just loaded, was hidden underneath the output there. If that happens to you, obviously just you can click and drag it out of the way. Let's put them reasonably neat and reasonably in line. Okay, the next thing we can do here, we can right click and we can add where's the MIDI input gone? The normal MIDI input should be in here, but I can't see it. Not that it matters. It's probably here hiding over to the right, so there it is. Let's get that across here as well. So this MIDI, yours will be slightly different to that. You don't need to connect this one up in particular. The important bit is to connect up Loop B internal MIDI to here. So just click, hold, drag, drop it into there. So that is the output on the Loop B internal MIDI. Going into the MIDI input on the Virus TI. Okay. These two here at the top are their audio inputs, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but I'm sure you'll be able to work that bit out. It's quite easy process to work with audio input for routing Reason instruments through the various effects. Quite an easy process. I'll just quickly show you in the browser. Yeah, Ram C, and then down here you'll see input. That's the input patch. Just double click on that and it'll put it up here for you, and then you're kind of ready to go from here. It'll set these all up. Basically just changes the input to static. You can sets the inputs up and so on. Anyway, so they're your various audio inputs for, like I say, for routing, Reason instruments and so on through the various effects. We're not interested in that for this video. We're interested in the 3 pairs of various outputs. So we click and drag each one. Okay, click, drag, hold, leave go, click, drag, hold, leave go. For all 6. Okay, once you've got all 6 done, that's pretty much it. You don't have to connect this one up, but let's do it anyway. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference for that. The important thing is that we have loop internal MIDI connected. Okay. This here allows you to use the virtual keyboard, basically. Okay. You can change the channels for the virtual keyboard if you want to mess around with that thing or whatever. But now we've got that set up, let's minimize this a bit just to make it a bit more manageable so we can see what we're doing. Okay. There's our 3 mix channels. Yeah, in the mixer, yeah. They're the 3 mix channels we added at the start. So what we need to do now, let's add some sounds to the virus. Okay. Any old sounds, doesn't matter what they are. I have 1 selected, and I'm going to double click on Lyra. Okay, that patch will go in there. Then select 2. Any other one. These are just 3 patches, for example. Okay, let's select 1 again. Let's go to common, and under common for 1 you want USB 1 left and right. Okay, which it already is. Okay, now if we switch over to 2, we need to drop down, click the drop down arrow, and then select USB 2 left and right. Okay, for that. Then over here click on number 3, and you guessed it, USB 3 left and right. Okay, so there we go. As you click through them, you'll see that them values change on the right. Okay, that's done. Incidentally, my audio at the moment is set up for 3 outs, no inputs. Okay, if you were wanting to mess around with the various effects with pipe and Reason instruments and what have you through the virus effects, the very, very awesome virus effects, if you wanted to do that, then you would have to go in here and then select 3 out, 1 input. Yeah, obviously that's it's basically common sense, that bit, isn't it? So anyway, we've got 3 instruments set. We've got elements set up, all ready to go. We also now need to while we're here, let's tidy this up a little bit here. So for mix channel 1, I'm going to call that I'll call that virus TI21. Okay, and let's call that 2, and let's call that 1.3. Yeah. Actually, I should have done that down here because then it'll automatically do it for everything. So let's just correct it all because we like to be OCD a bit. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. Let's change the color. Track color. Let's go for a bright grey. Oh, I should have selected them all. Never mind. Let's do things step by step. Let's not do fancy shortcutty things. There we go. Elements. Let's change elements. Let's change that to graphite. You can have graphite. Let's do these properly here. I've made a mess of this bloody thing. Let's change these properly. Okay. Again, this has no bearing on the functionality of what we're trying to do here. It's just for the aesthetics of it, if you want to, you know, maybe save this as a template or whatever. So you don't have to keep going through this same rigmarole every time you load up. So what we should have at the minute is these MIDI channels all set up. Now what we need to do, these audio channels in here we need to sort out. So what we need to do is we go to the rack, okay, flip the rack over. And from here, we're going to drag the main output, 1 and 2, okay, drag that out. Drag the left to the left on Virus TI1, and it'll automatically patch in the right for you, okay. To get the other ones, you need to drop the CV programmer, and then under optional audio outs, again we do the similar thing. Drag the left one, 3 and 4, and then drag the left one, 5 and 6, and the bottom. And there we go. That's the Virus audio wired in. Now we can just minimize that CV programmer because I'm done with that. I mean, you probably could, you know, mess around putting this in a combinator and stuff. I don't know. But anyway, whatever you want to do with this afterwards, it's up to you. The important thing is the functionality. So we've got, I think we've got everything set up now. It's ready to go. All we need to do is drop in some MIDI notes or something. I'll just put a simple note in for speed use. There we go, something like that. Anything will do. It's just to show. So as you can see there, that note, okay. Oh, I can actually demonstrate it by using the on the keyboard. Okay. You can see it activating in the Virus channel 3. You can see our mix channel activating. Yeah. If we want to, you know, select a different track. So we want to be playing this one. There you go. Channel 2. And channel 1. And channel 1 is probably a pad or something, is it? Maybe. Or have I not wired it up yet? I don't know. Let's try a different patch or something in there. Have I wired that in properly? Do I have? There it is. Yep. I've got that set up properly. Have a look at this MIDI out. Yes. The audio outputs. So set up. Ah, hang on a minute. No, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So anyway, as you can see, one's playing, two's playing, three's playing. That kind of wraps it up, really. This weird audio crackly, jumpy things going on. Again, I don't normally have this when I use my setup as normal. I've had to jig a few things around to be able to get all the audio going out with this machine into a different machine to record and so on. So it's kind of funking my audio up a bit. I'll have the short process of setting all that back up again when I've completed this video. But that's pretty much everything, really. That's everything. There's nothing much to recap on from what we've done. Yeah, you can continue on if you want. You can add another, you can add another MIDI out device, set it a loop B, obviously, internal MIDI, and select channel 4, and then drag another sound, into channel 4 on here. But what you'll find is it'll play back, obviously, that through here, okay, because it's set to USB 1, the same as the top one. So that would be handy for. I mean, I would only ever use the Virus for 3 instances anyway, really, in Reason, as Reason stands at the minute, and this workaround. But say this would be handy if you found 2 nice pad sounds or something, and you wanted to layer the 2 pad sounds. So let's say this Lepus sound was a good pad sound, and this was a good pad sound in Bay 1 here. Then you could, have those 2 going through one mix channel. I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, obviously it's nice to have them, run, each one of these to go through their own mix channel, so you can obviously add your effects and so on. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's how I've, until Reason Studios pull their finger out and, pull a DAW in line with like literally every other DAW in existence, and sort out the MIDI side of things for multi-timbral MIDI VSTs and what have you. This is kind of as good as it gets, really. It's as good as I've been able to find anyway. Again, there's another one. This Element. What's the other one again? Anyway, there is some other kind of rapper type of things like Element, where you can do a very similar process to this. But Element, up to now, from what I've tried anyway, seems to be the best one for doing this task. But also, Element is actually really handy for other things as well. But again, this isn't a Element tutorial as such. But it goes very deep in what you can do within one instance of Element. You can load up effects in here, other synths and what have you. You can do a lot of main bending stuff. Of course, Reason doesn't support VST3s, I believe, as it stands. So you can load up some VST3s within this if you want, and use Element. So it's not just, spending $2 on Element just to be able to get your Virus or any other synth that works similar to a Virus working in Reason. It's Element's a handy tool to have anyway, so you'll probably find other uses for it, creative uses for it. So, yep, I think that's kind of everything, really. Once this is all in place, you can save this off, save it as a template so you don't have to go through all this again. And I don't think I've missed anything. All right, yes, sorry. I'll may as well mention this. For automating as well, these are them here. You get 8 parameters that you can use, okay, for automating specific things within the Virus control software. It's a shame you only get 8, but that's all. That's, again, it's better than what we've got in the non-existent way things stand without doing things this way. So yeah, that's kind of it, really. If you've enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful, but hit the like button, and if you want to, subscribe to the channel. It's normally a gaming channel, this thing. I normally mess around with games occasionally. And leave a comment in the a comment below of whatever problems you've got. If I can't help, there might be other people who can help you. Again, I'll be including my hardware, my Virus TI2 hardware settings in the description. Those 2 links for Loop B and Element you'll find in there as well. And yeah, that's everything, man. Take care, and I'm off. Goodbye.